Feels good to be back on a Sunday for a classic watch-along. WCW Spring Stampede 2000 is what is on the menu tonight. I forgot to make a Spring Stampede countdown screen, so you got the WCW one from a couple weeks ago. But we are here to watch one that one of you suggested, and I meant to check and see who I have to credit for this, because I put up a post a couple of days ago, couldn't figure out what watch along to do tonight. So I asked you guys just to give some suggestions, and one of them stuck out. Hawk 9494 Edward. You're the one that suggested Spring Stampede 2000 or Uncensored 2000. I took a look at both cards, and I thought this one looked much better. Plus, this looks to be a tournament to crown the new World Heavyweight Champion. It feels like they had 25 vacancies a year around the end of WCW. But this one looked much better. It's in the United Center. They pulled over 12,000 people for this event at the very final year in WCW's dying days, so not a bad number. Horrible pay-per-view buy rate, I believe. But a pretty good house in a pretty big venue that WCW, even in 2000 is still kicking. So I don't really know too much about this show. You guys are going to have to fill me in on some of the details surrounding what went down on this night. I definitely did not order this pay-per-view when it aired. I was totally checked out of WCW by the final year or two of the company. Would only watch them casually, if that, and really wasn't interested in anything they were doing at all, because WWE at the time was killing it. But this should be a good one. When I looked at the card, I remember myself saying, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's do this one. This should be fun. So Spring Stampede 2000 it is. Luckily, this event is on YouTube, so that's how we're going to be following along. If you click the link in the description, or in the description, I have the link to the Spring Stampede stream or video that is located on WCW's YouTube channel. So I provided the link below. You can use that to follow along. And the runtime tonight, according to YouTube for Spring Stampede 2000, is 2 hours, 38 minutes, and 24 seconds. Whole bunch of matches on this thing, and I think this is going to be a fun one. So hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to be a little bit distracted because over on Amazon Prime, I've got the Game 7 between the Detroit Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers pulled up right now. They are in Detroit. I'm expecting and hoping that Detroit will finish these schmucks off after coughing up a game at home a couple games ago that put them on their backs, facing elimination on the road a couple nights ago in Cleveland, and they beat the hell out of them. So now they are back at home for Game 7. Obviously, I want to look at that score and keep my eye on it, but even if the Pistons lose here, what the fuck ever. What do I care at this point? But I am rooting for them hard, so we're going to be eyeballing that game while we watch WCW Spring Stampede 2000. So anyway, I'm going to do a couple of quick hellos in the chat here. Say hi to everyone. Hopefully, in the meantime, you guys have gotten your link pulled up for Spring Stampede. As I do for every watch-along, I have killed the ads on this video, so you will not be interrupted with ads over here. But if you do not have premium, you could be getting a lot of ads over on Spring Stampede. So I recommend getting premium, but if you don't have it and you follow along, that is what the timer is for. So in just a couple of minutes, we're going to hit play together. That timer will run. That way, if you run into an ad or something, you can sync back up with the timer so you can continue following along. That is how we do things here on Sundays, and I'm going to try to do as many watch-alongs on YouTube as we can, only going over to Netflix when we have to, and same goes for Peacock if we ever have to do that. But anyway, we are here on this fine Sunday night. Thank you so much for being here. I'll say hello to everyone, and we will get going here on WCW Spring Stampede. Good to see Melissa in the house. Zane Jean is here. Mike Rouse, tornado emergency in Nebraska. Wow. I sometimes forget about Nebraska. Like if you play the game where you write down all 50 states, I feel like Nebraska is one I would forget. But man, yeah, when you are at the edge of the Rockies there where the planes hit and the United States has 95% of the world's tornadoes. Can you believe that? They are all here. You don't get no tornadoes in Russia, fucking Germany. They're all here. You might get one in England somewhere in the UK, maybe once or twice a century or something. But I swear, America, we get all them tornadoes. It's because of our Geography. That's why we get them. Anyway, We Are Pro Wrestling. What up, bro? You better be rooting for the Pistons tonight, too. Ryan Adams is in the house. Good to see Angie Law. We have Daniel Barry Sports, Jake, the OTC, David Brown in the house. Nick Steele is here. George Morris showing up with his token 5. Thanks, bro. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito and Elizabeth? Legion of Doom documentary on A&E right now. What is your favorite Legion of Doom match? Holy hell, I don't know. It would have to be something from the NWA. I don't think they had anything that really stands out in WWE to me. Their title win at SummerSlam was decent, but I feel like my mind is going to be going NWA to try to think of one. I don't even know if I've ever picked one. I don't even think I could name you my top 5 Legion of Doom matches, to be honest, but I'll give it some thought. Domo, good to see you as well. Northern DC, Rodrigo is here. Fox Star Killer, what up? Thanks for being here. Finally, got a regular Sunday, Monday off schedule again after a while, so I'm more than happy to relive some 2000 WCW. Sundays and Mondays are the best days to be off. That has been my weekend for about 30 years. I've been off Sundays and Mondays, and I have loved it. This week, I'm actually off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which is nice. But Sundays and Mondays, that is the weekend that I recommend for everyone because Monday's a great day to get your shit done. Everybody's at work. You can go around, get your errands done, go to the store, do whatever you need to do. Nobody's around. It's awesome. Coco, Anarchy is here as well. Good to see Big Funds HC, and Foxstar has 5 for us. Also recently discovered my Godzilla love, and now we have all the Showa, Heisei, and Millennium series films on Blu-ray. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, those are... I don't know what that means. But yeah, Godzilla, I'm not familiar. I mean, I know what Godzilla is, but I... don't know anything about those movies. I am illiterate to that. Alan Carter, good to see you. John J. E. Dennett is here. Ricky Zalvadar, James Krause, Garrett Osborne. Good to see everyone in here. Thank you so much for being with us on this Sunday evening. Not sure how many people are going to be hanging out to watch Spring Stampede 2000, but hopefully we'll have a decent audience in here tonight as we get going on WCW. Zach, good to see you too. So cheers to everyone. Let's go ahead and get ready and hit play here together. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, play is how we do it. I do want to just double check one thing. I want to make sure that I have killed. Yeah, okay, monetization is off. So no ads on this video. I just wanted to make sure I had that setting correct before we get into Spring Stampede. Okay, cool. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1 and hit play together. Once I get my fingers queued up. I am ready if y'all are. Y'all ready? Spring Stampede 2000. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Yes. All right. That ugly-ass logo. I hated that logo. When they changed it to that, I'm like, that's going to be problematic because the old logo was just fine. Now it looks like a completely different promotion with completely different wrestlers, with completely different people in charge. WCW didn't resemble itself. The last 2 years of Nitro didn't even look like Nitro to me, you know? All right, so this is, you guys are really going to have to fill me in here because this is after, well, Russo has gotten there just a few months earlier, and now Bischoff is in. And Bischoff and Russo were on the same team for a while here. And I don't recall, Russo came in and had power in October of 99. And then by the time Bischoff was here, what was Bischoff doing? Was he just an on-air character or was he behind the scenes? There's Bischoff hitting Hogan. Kidman pinned Hogan. Was that at New Blood or whatever? Not New Blood. What show was that where Bischoff... That's Nitro. It's Nitro. Did he say he's going to eat his ass? Did Hogan say he's going to eat his ass? I don't recommend that, Hogan. I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's unsanitary for one. Where the fuck did I put? How the hell did he check himself out of a hospital anyway? Yo, Billy, over here. What are we gonna do? Tori. Look at Tori. Just got to fire up that Hummer, guys. That's it.
Come on, have a good time. Relax. Easy for you to say. Easy for you to say. Nice. It'll be great. No problem.
Oh, there it is. Oh, we're gonna get a little video intro here to Spring Stampede 2000. WCW had the worst production. It was just so second rate looking, so low budget. Okay, that's right. I remember that We Are Pro Wrestling. The reboot Nitro was 6 days earlier on Monday when they took all the title belts and vacated them, and they had tournaments for everything. Okay, I do remember when they grabbed all the belts from everybody. I thought that was silly. Jarrett here for the kayfabe family reunion, but Game 7. Yeah, is there a score on this thing yet? 2-0 Cavaliers. Because I don't have cable anymore. I just do streaming. So luckily it's on Amazon Prime, which I have. So watch it. All right, so we got Scott Hudson, Tony Schiavone, and the asshole Mark Madden. He just looks like a pile of shit, doesn't he? Ugh. Fucking hate Mark Madden. Vampiro! That's right. This is the Millionaires Club and the New Blood, right? So this was in the United Center, 12,556, which is not bad. Double or Nothing's a sellout, by the way. It has more people there than this show. And the buy rate is horrific. 115,000 is the buy rate. For comparison, WWE Judgment Day, Backlash, the same month as Spring Stampede, drew over 600,000 buys. So WWE was doing about 6 times the pay-per-view business. 6 times than WCW was doing. Crazy. Was Mark Madden talking there? I don't listen to him really. Let them play. Who won the title in 2000 in the NBA? That was right off the strike year. Spurs won it in 99. Who won it in 2000? LA, probably. Yeah, LA. I think the Lakers won, right? It was probably Lakers Sixers. Maybe? Lakers Sixers? What year was AI made the finals? Might have been 2001. What is... Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I mean, all the characters in WCW at this time, too, were just... I mean, outside of your top stars, like this bullshit. Now, help me out. Both of these guys would wind up in WWE, right? Now, I know Big Vito from ECW. And then I think he would come into WWE, Big Vito, right? And then, is this Johnny Stramboli or whatever? Or Johnny the Bull? Is that who this is? I kind of forget. What was Big Vito called in WWE? He had a different name, didn't he? Team Package. Total Package. Look at Elizabeth. God. WCW Elizabeth might be better than WWE Elizabeth. I ain't going to lie. What a MILF. All right. Flair's ready. He's in street clothes tonight.
Can't add any more to that, guys. Flair's gonna come out in his street clothes.
Yeah. So this is Flair.
Not a wrestling match. It's team package against the Mamalukes in the first bout.
Tony Scott, I'll tell you who else can't add anything to Spring Stampede. Hulk Hogan.
I got to look at this card. So is this for the tags then? This is the tag tournament semifinal.
We heard Eric Bischoff back in the office at the head of the show. He said Hogan had checked himself out of the Denver, Colorado hospital. He ended up there with a car attack and it's solo Monday night on Nitro. Been on the shelf since then, checked himself out.
Man, there is 14 matches on the show, guys. This is the first match. We have 14 matches, and I don't even know what I'm reading on this next one. I am reading, guys, I am reading. Here's what I'm reading. Here's what I read. I'm reading right now. Mancow versus Jimmy Hart with Al Roker Jr., Turd the Barbarian, and Freak. What does that mean? I guess I'll find out. That match is up next. There's Lex, Flexi Lexi, and Elizabeth.
There's no disputing his impressive physique, but does he have to pose every single time?
Now apparently he does. And his partner, of course,
I think Liz could have done better than Luger.
has had a wonderful run here in the Chicagoland area in WCW. And I think he realizes now, you can just tell that he has picked up the intensity, Scott. He realizes now that his career is really in jeopardy here at the hands of Russo, Bischoff, and the New Blood.
Tatanani, go down to the description. The link is right down here. We're watching on YouTube. That's why I put the follow along on YouTube little thing next to the timer. So we are not watching on Netflix. The link is in the description. Just click it, and you'll be following right along with all of us. So if we're on Netflix, I'll make sure it says follow along on Netflix, and when we're on YouTube, I'll make sure it says follow along on YouTube. So just check there if you're ever wondering how we're watching this shit. God, Elizabeth, man.
He's the greatest ever, but that day's done. Make way for the New Blood, Tony.
You know he's not going to go down without a fast match. You know he's ready to see.
I love being with Elizabeth because of her name. I mean, I tell her all the time. I'm like, it's so fitting that I met an Elizabeth because I think I'm supposed to be with an Elizabeth or a Trish or something. All right, what is he doing out here? I hated this set, too, that WCW was using, this very basic screen.
We got two crafty veterans in that ring.
Two crafty veterans.
Rookies. That's not even.
Ric Flair's going golfing.
We even up the sides just a bit. What do you say? We send out the boys.
Send out the boys. I thought that was the gist of it. You had the experienced guys against the new blood, and that was evening the playing field. Apparently, Russo's got something else in design here, Mark.
Oh, it's the Harris twins.
Yeah, the Harris boys. Go all night long now, Slick Rick. Explore on through. See if you can
I like how Ric Flair just looks like he's been golfing.
What he means by the playing field, a level playing field.
This is what Vince
So this is Patrick and Gerald, and neither one of them wanted to be Patrick, remember? So what, this is a three-way now?
Insurmountable odds seemingly immediately Flair is down. Double team. There you see Johnny the Bull and Big Vito stomping Ric Flair on the right. On the left, the Harris brothers.
What was Vito's name in WWE? I know he was like Vito LaGrasso, right, in ECW. Was he even in WWE?
Talking about this even playing surface is obviously designed to stack the deck, so to speak, against
It must have just been named Vito if he was there. I thought they changed his name. I really also did not like the aesthetics of WCW at this point. Just something about it. It just, like this wide shot, this hard cam shot here of the ring. It's just the way the lighting was. It had a very, Dorothy in Kansas vibe, and then over in WWE was Oz. You know. I'm so glad we picked a 14-match pay. They're going to get 14 matches done in 2.5 hours here. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm like, why is Flair wrestling in street clothes like that? It's so dumb. This is a pay-per-view, man. Is Disco even fucking Italian? What is he? I remember thinking Disco was going to be Rockabilly when Honky was teasing a protege in WWE in '97, right after WrestleMania. And I think it was at the pay-per-view or in your house, and he debuted Rockabilly. And I remember the hotlines were kind of saying it was going to be Disco. And I remember kind of thinking that would be kind of good because I was stupid. I'm glad we dodged Disco as the born-again honky-tonk man. I don't think I could handle that fucking douche out there in an Elvis jumpsuit. No, kick out. And we got Jacob and Eli Blue against Narcissus, against Big Vito LaGrasso versus the new honky-tonk man. Versus Ramblin' Rick Rhodes. I feel like they might have lost money on this United Center deal here. They only had 12,000 there, which I thought was a good number because Uncensored the following month only has half that. But WCW's buy rates from this time period, they're lower than what AEW's is now for their pay-per-views. Oh. Oh. Oh man, the Harris boys. Look at Disco. Get out. Don't even look at Elizabeth. Disco. You're not even permitted to look in her direction. Oh. Yeah. Elizabeth took him out. What? A couple of Chicago Bears are escorting Disco Inferno out of here. WCW ran Chicago all the time. They were running Chicago even in the NWA days. So the Chicago was a semi-regular stop, I think, for NWA and WCW. But in terms of Chicago Stadium, I don't know which one that would be. I mean, Soldier Field, maybe? Nobody ever ran that. But you also have, Allstate and the other one. There's one more. But like Chi-Town Rumble, I don't even know what arena that was in. And I don't remember the name of the building that the Bulls used to play in before the United Center was built. It was smaller. Wow. Why do I have a memory of I think it's Johnny the Bull. Does he badly injure his leg in some sort of a spot on pay-per-view or TV? I don't know if it's WWE, WCW, or ECW that it happens. but he does something. He like takes the top rope bump and his knee buckles. Am I thinking of him or am I thinking of Bull Buchanan or something? I get Johnny Stramboli and Bull Buchanan mixed up. All right, that's the torture rack. That's it. And there's our referee. Who's he ringing? Who's he telling to ring the hard cam or ring the bell to? Like you, just pointing up to heaven. Ring the bell, Jesus. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about WCW. I do not understand why when there's a submission, why they point to the hard cam to ring the bell. What the fuck is the bell the timekeeper doing way over there or up there on the roof? Why is the bell ringer on the roof? Look at Mike Awesome. He's a little beefcake-ish on the mic, Mike Awesome. Look at these two. I was always a big fan of Awesome, Mike Awesome. Fucking Eddie Money. Yeah, don't fuck with Bam Bam. Oh, no. Oh, okay, well, maybe you do fuck with Bam Bam. All right, so Mike Awesome is attacking Bam Bam. Backstage. Is this before the Fat Chicks thing or whatever that they did with him? Another one gone too soon. Mike Awesome. I do remember that shit when he left WCW, or I'm sorry, he left ECW to debut in WCW when he was still ECW champion, and then he went back to ECW to drop the belt to WWE Superstar Taz. That was really cool. This fucking guy, this Mancow, he did one of the Slammy Awards, too. He hates Howard Stern, I know that. Like, Mancow was a popular Chicago DJ. I hate his voice. Howard Stern had such a much better voice than him. All right, so it's Mancow. Syndicated in 28 states. Sounds like WWE giving a shit about Man. I would have never known who Mancow was had it not been for wrestling. I first heard about him when he was at the Slammies in like 96 or 7, and he was up there, said some shit about Howard Stern. I don't remember what it was. Who's this guy? Is this the Warlord? Is this Turd Ferguson? What were the names of the people? Turd the Bartender. Is this Turd the Bartender? Oh, I thought it said Turd the Barbarian. Turd the Bartender. Is that Turd? Who the fuck is that guy? He's huge. Howard Stern wannabe. I have no idea who this monster guy is with him. What's this song? Is this Click Click Boom? Oh, okay. Maybe one of these ladies is Turd Ferguson. Oh, don't fall. Careful, honey. All right, so this is the Ho Train. He's wearing a Howard Stern shirt. That's not Kizarny, is it? That guy there? He follows me. Mancow. Well, if you're ever wondering why I was not watching WCW at the time, this would be why. Look at Mancow. Boy, I could whoop his ass. Jesus Christ. What do you weigh, $120? Is this like is he the friend on Boy Meets World? You know the friend of the Boy Meets World kid? I never watched the show, but I know the characters in my head. The friend of the Boy Meets World kid. That's him.
In my own studio, my eye was injured. Tonight it's revenge. This is for you, Chicago. Eye for an eye.
Is Mancow still, any of y'all live in Chicago? Does he still on the radio? Does he still do stuff?
And look at Mancow and Jimmy Hart straight.
Can't fight.
Well, I guess
I'm sorry. We Are Pro Wrestling is saying that
and now he pulled away.
6 months from this match, they do another one? Oh! Low blow by Jimmy Hart. Look at him go. Jimmy always put his all into everything. You cannot hate Jimmy Hart.
This is utter nonsense.
Of course it is.
Jimmy Hart, he's been paying attention all these years for Pete's sake. He looks good in there.
Look, Jimmy
So these, I don't know who these yahoos are. One of them's got to be Turd Ferguson, and the other one's the other one, the Freak, and the other one's Al Roker Jr.
down, he gets a point for that. Good call there. Hard way.
I don't even see why
Shout out to Bill Apter on the outside of the ring taking photos.
And he's still down. Jimmy Hart.
do it, Jimmy. Yeah.
I even like how WCW had the square video screen like it's a standard definition TV. Oh. And WWE had the big wide one.
On top of him. And he shielded himself that time above the referee and Mancow. Take that for the Mancow. Takes down Jimmy Hart. This is a bitter fight, guys.
It's about to end.
Oh, no.
That's it. That's it. Take this guy out.
Here,
On the trash can.
the protege of Jimmy Hart.
This guy's the protege of Jimmy Hart.
With the referee still down. Oh, look at this. Oh, no.
Oh no.
What's he going to do with Mancow?
Throw him into, I don't know. Oh, just throws him into his friends. He's not an athlete. Look at them arms, will tell you that. I got the long arms. That's my problem. The long ones. Very long. I think my wingspan is slightly bigger than my height. I can touch my knee without bending over. I got them Gumby arms. There we go. Got a Mancow win it for Farley sign in the crowd. My cousin Jill married into the Farley family. Yeah, oh, and I did not want that to happen. Mancow beats Jimmy Hart. Yeah, Chris Farley would have been dead, but I got 3 years by this point. Okay, so Kidman's coming out after all this. Why would he be coming out here? WCW was such a mess. Like, why? What is he even coming out here for? Is every single match going to be, like, overbooked like this? Oh, he's just... Oh, yo! What is he doing to Jimmy Hart? Come on, Hogan. Come to his rescue. Is Hogan going to come rescue him? I feel like Hogan might come rescue him here. They showed the shit before with Kidman and Hogan. Now he's beating up Jimmy Hart. No. Nope. He's just sending a message to Hogan. I don't know if I approve of this Jimmy Hart abuse. I didn't tune in to the show tonight to watch Jimmy Hart get abused. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't. Mikey Witt, thanks for that $10, bro. Greg, Johnny Stramboli had a very bad injury on an episode of Nitro vs. Terry Funk in a hardcore match while performing a top rope springboard. He busted his bladder, tore his urethra, strained his pelvis. Ow. I'm thinking it's just a knee thing. How did he do that? He busted his bladder, tore his urethra, and strained his pelvis. It's like when X-Pac tore his asshole open. Ooh. Ouch. All right, so here's the Wall. This was a guy who looked had a very basic look to him, but he was big. I mean, I think WWE could have picked him up and had him feud with Undertaker. Like he's fucking Heidenreich. Same guy. Steiner was using the Steiner theme in 2000? That's a pleasant surprise. Like Hogan and the Steiners both dusted off their old cheesy-ass WCW themes around this time. Steiner Line! Boy, I remember being a teenager and hearing that song. Steiner Line! All right, rest in peace, Andre the Giant sign. Died 7 years earlier. 8 years earlier, something like that. All right, Scott Steiner versus The Wall. Never knew much about The Wall. He died, just a few years after this, I think. I don't know what year he died, but it's another one that died really early. Oh, it's edited? Oh man, I thought it sounded pretty well done. I didn't sound like a network edit to me. I'm surprised they would edit that on YouTube. That makes no sense. Why would it be edited? Why wouldn't they just use the siren Scott Steiner thing? Yeah, I'm watching that score. Ain't looking good so far for the Pistons, but they are at home, so. Okay, thank you, We Are Pro Wrestling. I thought so. It did not sound like a dub to me, because a lot of times you can tell when it's a dub based on the audio, the announcers, the crowd in the background. Most of the time, it's pretty easy to tell. So thank you for confirming what I already knew, and that is that he used the theme that night. I mean, Steiner looked in great shape here still. He wasn't, physically, Steiner just was terrible to me. Once he started getting real jacked like that, like I don't recall liking any of Scott Steiner's work post, 1996 or 5. Like, that was around the year he started really getting jacked. And his mobility just wasn't the same worker that he used to be. One of my least favorite wrestling attires is what The Wall is wearing. I hate that look. A lot of wrestlers have done the slacks and the black tank top. I just hate it. I could not wrestle in Dockers. I just don't understand how people do that. Like, how do you go to JCPenney to buy your wrestling gear? Like, I don't understand that. It would be so uncomfortable to me. Like, even when I'm at work sometimes, I'm like, I would work so much more efficiently if I was just in my pajamas. If I could just wear my pajamas at work, I would be flying around that place. But sometimes I feel all the shit that I have to wear sometimes, I have to dress nice or what, it sucks. I'm not trying to wear slacks, man. Damn. He knocked out the barricade there. Humanoids and ham and eggers can just run right through there now. Just what we need. All right, we got one table out in the United Center. That table looks very, very, very bad. Yep, there it goes. It amazes me how no matter how many years go by and no matter how many practice or how much practice they get, wrestlers cannot figure out how to set a table up. They never get the legs right. It's like literally one of the most easiest mechanical things to understand, and they can't do it. Oh, no, the wall's going to chokeslam the referee. Oh. He was blinded. He couldn't tell that the person that he's grabbing has a shirt on. Oh. Is that Billy Silverman calling for the bell? I'm pretty sure was one of the only referees to work both companies before the buyout, I think. Pretty sure Billy Silverman worked WWE as well. And then a lot of guys like Mickey J, Nick Patrick, Lil Nate, they would all come over in the buyout. But I'm pretty sure Silverman worked WWE prior to this. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. All right, so that was a disqualification. What a stupid finish. This is Russo. Bro, what'll happen is you'll blind the wall, right? And then he'll grab the referee, bro, and he'll put him through the table. Because you and the referee weigh the same. He won't know. That is just so weird. The way it sticks up like that. What the fuck? Scott Steiner's muscle. I don't like it.
WCW, the biggest redneck company in the world, to go get another big redneck to try to do his dirty work. But your old ass,
what is going on now? Now, why would Bam Bam attack Ernest Miller? He just got attacked by Mike Awesome, or maybe it's because of the match that they're about to have? What happens here? No, I don't know. I don't even know what the point of that was. Like, WCW just creatively, they were always a mess. Like, they never had their shit together. Even when the NWO was on top, you almost didn't have to have cohesive creative because people just tuned in for the NWO and the fun of it all. Okay, so Mike Awesome just got there then. Okay, so he's still ECW champion, that means. I don't know when that match happens with Taz, but it's soon. He's got to go back there. He's got to go walk back in the door of the company that he walked out on to drop the title. Which I don't even recall how that was allowed or if it was... Because, like, Mike Awesome got a lot of shit for leaving and jumping ship. But, I mean, hey, he came back and dropped the title. I don't know if he did that to make it right or if he was contractually forced to. I don't recall the story. But... I mean, I remember even in the One Night Stand show that, what's-his-face, Joey Styles was, like, wishing death upon him and stuff, and Joey Styles would get his wish. But all over that, the way he left, I'm like, a lot of guys are doing that. A lot of guys are leaving for big money. But I guess his deal was he took a big payday to go right away. Now, if I remember right, when the invasion started, I'm pretty sure it was like, I think it was Lance Storm was the first wrestler to appear. And then it might have been Booker T at King of the Ring after that. And then I think the third one to appear on WWE would have been Mike Awesome, I think. I think he was like one of the first ones. Now, I don't think these guys ever had a chance to meet off or face off in ECW. Good question, Mike. I don't know. I don't know about Oklahoma, if that was before or after this. I really liked Awesome's ability to fly. He had a great frog splash, such a good frog splash. I think when it comes to big men, you know, your Nashes, your Kanes, your Undertakers, I think Awesome was better than all of them.
Hey, Bigelow, that was no accident. Bigelow shifted his weight when Awesome took him up and landed right on top of Awesome. Bam Bam Bigelow is not...
You know, I actually think Mike Awesome would have made a great Kane. You know, Glenn Jacobs, you know, Kane was great. Kane was great. But, you know, if they would have made, you know, Kane like the slightly smaller, you know, because they tried to make him the same size, you know, but Awesome would have been a little bit shorter, just a tiny bit, not much, you know, but he would have been like the smaller, high-flying monster of Undertaker. It might have been even more fun. Oh, there. Okay, so here's Ernest Miller. So every single match is going to have interference. I can already tell. Is it, or unless he's in this match. Is he supposed to be in this match? Why is the referee not ringing the bell? Why would he... This company sucked so bad compared to WWE. This is an edit. This is 100% an edit. At least I think. It's got to be. This is not the song. I don't know what that was, but that was awful, that song. Bam Bam would have been a good bushwhacker. You're right. Oh, there's that frog splash. So he's going to pin Ernest. Oh, my God. This. This is an edit, too. This sounds like an edit. Maybe not. I didn't even pay attention to Mike Awesome's music when he was coming out. But he just debuted in the company the previous Monday, and that's his first pay-per-view match. It was a U.S. title quarterfinal, I guess, here against Bigelow, but he somehow is able to pin Ernest the Cat Miller to get the win. Oh, my God. Vince Russo is an idiot. He is so unbelievably bad at this job. And he fucking pontificates. Bro, Tony Khan, come on my show. Learn from me. My God. Learn from a fucking moron? No thanks. God, these fucking douchebags. Like the douche patrol. Tori, you can do better. At the time, I had long hair. Billy Kidman might have me a little bit beat in handsomeness, but not by much. I could have had a shot with Tori. All I had to do is meet her. Buy her a Cosmopolitan or something. Ask her if she lives around here often. I think we might have hit it off. New day, new blood.
And it's all about the new blood. And you're looking right at it. Just think about it. Franchise and Buff Daddy.
What a tag. So this is Shane Douglas and Buff Bagwell against Harlem Heat?
Is officially closed as of tonight. That limo riding, jet flying, son of a gun bullshit is over. Good riddance. We are the future. We are the new blood, and our time is now.
Okay. Shane and Buff. Oh, I forgot Ahmed is here. I forgot about Ahmed Johnson. Oh, my God. I've never been so high on a guy only to be so low in such a short amount of time. When Ahmed Johnson came into the WWE in 1995, I was 18 years old, and I was like, finally, this is what we need. Just some fucking monster. Look at this guy. He's a can't miss. And holy shit, did he miss. And he looks pretty awesome here, but he's just so physically slow. And Clarence Mason is here, too. I forgot about him. Who's the dude in the back? Is that? That's not Butch Reed, is it? Who's this big guy? No, that's definitely not Butch Reed. Who's this monster behind them? Who is he? Okay, so this is Harlem Heat 2000, but I don't know who the big feller is. I have no idea. Mike, appreciate the $10. Greg, you ready for hair versus hair or hair versus title next Sunday? Yeah, I thought for sure Darby was going to say he'll give Max the match if he waves the stip that Hangman can't ever get a title match. No, it's going to be the hair. Although I made MJF a deal. If he loses, I will stand in solidarity with him, and I will shave my head too. That way he won't feel alone. What a random team. Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas. Do they have any history at all? I mean, Marcus Alexander Bagwell and a young Shane Douglas might have had a path cross in the early 90s, maybe. Otherwise, I don't know if there's any history whatsoever between these two. God, Ahmed is so big too, isn't he? I always forgot that he went to WCW. I blocked it out of my memory. $41-26 Cavs. Come on, Pistons. It looks like it's a commercial right now. I don't have my eye on the score. Can't lose Game 7 at home. But if they do, I won't even care. I'll go right on with my night. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Pistons, but I didn't even know they were good until halfway through the season, so it's still all kind of new to me. Maybe if they lose tonight, they can take this loss, make some off-season moves, come back even stronger next year. Feels like just 2 years ago they won like 15 games, right? So now they're going to the finals. Oh, there's their Ahmed Spiney. God, Ahmed's got that belly on him, doesn't he, man? Something happened when he got injured. When Ron Simmons debuted with that fucking helmet on and kicked him in his kidneys, kicked Ahmed in his kidneys, and Ahmed missed that time. And when he came back, he was just not the same. And by the time we got to late 97, early 98, he was just lazy and, looked like he was getting winded walking to the ring. He joined the Nation only to get immediately booted out. It was just all so weird. He's supposed to turn heel and face The Undertaker and then got hurt again. So he just had problems. I've always made kind of the loose comparison to Goldberg. I've always felt like Goldberg in WCW was what WWE wanted Ahmed Johnson to be. And I remember when he debuted at Survivor Series, watching that night and being like, oh, yeah, this guy's I like him. This is exactly what they need. Oh, yeah, his name is Big T here. I forgot. Interestingly enough, the night that Ahmed Johnson debuted in WWE, Shane Douglas was on the opposite end of that Survivor Series team as Douglas pinned Stevie Ray. I still don't know who this big guy is. That's not Ice Train, is it? Who's the big guy in there? All right, Pistons are on the move here. Charge. Yeah, Pistons, man. It's only the second quarter. They're a quarter and a half into the game here. There is so much time left. A home team can erase 12 points in 30 seconds. If Detroit was Game 7 and they were up by 12 right now, second quarter in Cleveland, I wouldn't be too confident yet. So. There's Booker. Booker T and Mean Gene Okerlund. I'm glad that Mean Gene and Booker T interviews exist, and there's a really, 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 really famous one. There's a few other people there, but y'all know the one I'm talking about. He said something I'd never say. Is this Booker T's music? No. Is this what Booker was using? So we're a couple of months away. The whole debacle, shabacle, whatever you want to call it, is about to go down at Bash at the Beach. What is the date on this event? This is April, right? Spring Stampede is April, and Uncensored is May, I think, usually. So, yeah, Slamboree is May. So this is April 16th. So they're 3 months away from July when Booker T will win the title. And I'm pretty sure in that show he comes out to just not here. So this is Booker T versus Sting. This is a United States title quarterfinal match. It's really confusing to keep up with this. That's why I've got the match card pulled up, because I talk so much during the watch-alongs that if the announcers offer up any context, I sometimes don't hear it. All right, Pistons are down 16 now. That's not good. All right, Sting's making his... I'm going to go grab a Frosty. What did Mark Madden say about Sting? He goes, this is a shoot. He and I have never said two words to each other. I don't even remember why I don't like Mark Madden. I just know that his online personality is he's just an asshole. I don't know if he's still around being an asshole or if that was just a thing from a few years back, but I know I don't like him. Well, this is one match that on paper looks good. This whole, when I looked at all these matches, that's why I wanted to watch this one, because I'm like, we have 14 matches. Holy shit. So much going on, but every match is 3 minutes long. Longest match on the card, I think, is 8 minutes outside of the main event. Outside the main event, which goes 15, longest match on the card is 8 minutes. That's crazy, son. I'm really surprised. I thought for sure by the time we got to 2000 or whatever, Sting would do what Hogan did. I thought Sting would come out in the face paint or the brightly colored shit. Surfer Sting, even though he never surfed. But I thought he'd come out as maybe Surfer Sting, but he never did. Did he? He combined them a little bit in TNA, if I remember right. He started wearing the big red jacket and the flashiness, but, still had the black and white, which I did like that. I thought that was a good melding of the two looks. But he just kind of stayed this guy. Mr. I'm mad that you thought I joined the NWO, so I hung out in the rafters for 18 months, and then a few months after that, I joined the NWO. Here we go. Whatever you do, just make sure Mark Madden is the only one that gets hurt. That desk does look pretty solid there, that desk that they have. Just the one. If you speak Spanish, you're shit out of luck watching WCW. English only over here in WCW. WWE's got 9 tables out here. Here's the French dudes. Here's the Spanish dudes. Here's the German dudes. Mike, thanks for the 5. I don't think it's that unpopular of an opinion. Surfer Sting's legendary. I grew up in the Carolinas, man. I swear, I heard Sting at the lunch table and on a school bus more than the Ultimate Warrior or Hulk Hogan. It was all about Sting, man. Sting lunch boxes, thermoses, all that shit was in my school. Like middle school. Sting was the man. And I much preferred that Sting as well because Sting took a year and a half off from in-ring competition. He didn't wrestle for 18 months. Something like that. Maybe it wasn't 18, but I feel it was like around fall of 96 is when they did the deal where the fake Sting came out and seemingly joined the NWO. And then Sting was so offended that all of his friends thought he joined the NWO. He's like, I'm going to go hang out in the rafters and, for a couple of Christmases. It was just so weird. So I think it was probably more than like 14 months or 15 months, but it was over a year and he didn't do anything except stand in the rafters and propel down, and he didn't talk for a year. I remember watching the Nitro, he finally opened up his mouth. He said something to Hogan like, you got no guts. It was the first time he spoke in like a year. So he just lost a lot, I mean, even though that was a cool kind of gimmick that they did, I feel like he lost a lot of stingness at the same time. As Booker T lands that scissors kick. So I have the same opinion as you. I liked previous Sting more than this Sting. Flapjack. You don't see many flapjacks these days. Jacob, is that what they did? They replaced Heenan with fucking Madden? Ugh. As Bobby would say, that would be like replacing your ice cream cone with horse manure. There's no reason here that Sting would be a heel, right? This is a babyface match, I'm assuming. Like, I don't even recall how did the NWO Wolfpack disband? Like, were they no longer a thing once the finger poke of doom happened? Oh. Did that reform everything back into one NWO? Scorpion Death Drop for the win. Sting moves on in the U.S. title tournament. So, how did the Wolfpack end? And because Sting was in the Wolfpack, because he had the red face paint. So, you WCW historians, when did red face paint Sting end? and go back to being normal face paint Sting. And I feel like the NWO split would have ended on the Finger Poke of Doom because it was like the original 3 back together or something, right? I think. Anyway, Booker and Sting. Booker wants 5 more minutes? Oh, no, he wants to shake his hand. He's going to shake his hand? Yeah, because Booker's the man. Or Booker back then was the man. I don't really like Booker now. He's annoying. But this Booker, he rules. We are down to just the last few months of that hair on Booker. By the end of near the end of this year, right, in 2000, he's going to have to start having the things, and that would turn into what he has now. I've been thinking about doing the same thing. I think by the end of the year, I can have the little things, and then fast forward 15 years from now, I'll be 64. We'll still be doing YouTube. I should have the full-on Booker do, man. I think I'll look pretty good. Hi, Tori. 3rd dose of Tori tonight. Thank you, WCW. Oh, is Hogan going to be here?
Hogan may be a glory hound, but there's no way in the world he's dumb enough to step into the lion's den.
Look, Eric, don't sweat the small stuff. Because even if he does show up, he's going to be wheeling himself around in a wheelchair because I crippled his ass on Nitro. So if Brother Man...
It's got to feel weird for Bischoff. I mean, 2 years earlier, he is on top of the world. It's been about 2 years now since WWE took over in the ratings and started beating them routinely. All right, Vampiro. Oh, see, I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, We Are Pro Wrestling, and Daniel for filling me in. So it was Sting leaving after Halloween Havoc 98, which we watched. Was that the match with Brett? Did he work Brett? He worked Brett. Brett hit him with the bat. Am I remembering that right? Do I actually have history right in my mind? And so it was after that he took time off. And that was the end of red face paint Sting. Okay, yeah, because if he took 6 months off, then the Finger Poke of Doom would have already happened. And he'd be back as Crow Sting. Okay. He found Jesus. I looked for him once. I was like, fucker's definitely behind the couch. He wasn't. I'm glad Sting found him. Tori again. Mike, thanks for the 5. Always wondered what would have happened if Vince would have chosen Sting over Warrior in late 80s. I mean, obviously you would like to think that Sting obviously would be just a million times better than Warrior. But man, Vince is such a wild card though, you know? And plus, you got to remember, Hogan is there. And I don't know if Hogan, you know, would allow someone to get over as much as he did. I mean, obviously Sting would have to be on the same path as Warrior. And I think Sting in 1990, with that Intercontinental title around his waist, would be a gorgeous sight. And you put Sting and Hogan in the ring at WrestleMania 6. Whew, imagine. It exists out there in the multiverse. Some planet somewhere out there is experiencing that right now.
Vampiro dominating Kidman. He's dominating the kid. Vampiro's so weird and so intense. God, he's like a scene from The Exorcist or something.
Well, realistically,
I mean, put Sting in all of Warrior's matches. Sting versus Rick Rude at WrestleMania 5. Sting versus Hogan, WrestleMania 6. Sting versus Savage, WrestleMania 7. He probably wouldn't get fired. Well, maybe. He might get fired. Sting was naughty. So he might have gotten fired for steroids or drugs or something. But if he wouldn't have, that was a gnar power bomb. Jesus. Or power throw. Imagine Sting versus Brett in 93. Imagine Sting versus Shawn. We never got Sting versus Shawn, you know? They were like on a main stage anyway. They did something independently, the two of them. But in WrestleMania 31, I think Sting might have eaten a super kick or something. But in their primes, we never got it. This is also U.S. title tournament, right? This is another quarterfinal. All right, Pistons are still down. They are down 15 with 2 minutes left. Not good. 2 minutes left in the half. And with the tournament here, too, you know, I don't know, like, how many of these matches there's storyline connections between the two also, or if they're just, you know, random matches. But, I mean, every one has had, like, a run-in or something. Sting and Booker are the first ones to go out there and do it. So I'm hoping Kidman and Vampiro here do the same. Nice Uranagi. I love that Kidman's wrestling in Tommy Hilfiger jorts, black jorts. The WWE run Chicago in 2000. They would have ran Rosemount because they never ran United Center after SummerSlam '94. So anytime they were in Chicago, they were going to be over at Rosemount. They had to have gone there in 2000. What show would have been there? Not Backlash, not Judgment Day, not King of the Ring, not Fully Loaded. Oh! I don't know if they were in Chicago in 2000 for any major show. But I was bringing it up because the crowd just seems... So, I mean, Billy Kidman had 2 excellent counters earlier to a couple of Vampiro moves, and that crowd couldn't have given a shit. Like, they're all... What are they looking at? And so I was wondering, like, was WWE in town anywhere around the same time? If they were getting treated to some shit, probably. Some good shit. What's going on now? Who's in the car? Is it a Mustang? Oh, it's Hogan. There he is. We're brother. Where's Billy Kidman at? Why are you asking him? Hogan, I get here, and he just happens to be in the ring. He could have been in the bathroom changing. He could have been, you know, having a coffee. Maybe having a wank in the broom closet. Who knows? But nope, he happens to be in the ring. Yeah, we're in the middle of a match. Lil Nate seems to be letting this go, which they did say at the beginning they were going to allow everybody to do. Oof. Hogan and Kidman. Okay, they were there in March for Raw. Okay. That was probably leading right up to Mania, so... Ooh. That was probably a pretty stacked show. Probably pretty close to around the time Rock hosted SNL. Maybe the week before or something. So Hogan is going to... What is Hogan trying to do? Oh, look at there. Oh! The table didn't break. Oh, what a bump. Ouch. That table did not budge. That's my IKEA desk that I have right here. I have two of them, and I kind of put them together to make an L. Oh, there you go. There you go. Poor Billy. One more time. But like, you know, that's fine and everything, but we got Dudleys and Hardys and what's their tits that just had the TLC match at WrestleMania, which was probably the week before this. This was April 16th. So yeah, WrestleMania was probably the week before or something. And that's it. Vampiro wins with help from Hulk Hogan. What an interesting pay-per-view this is. Hogan and Bischoff were so tight, now Hogan's coming for him. Look at Bischoff. Like, even how this shit right here, look at how this is lit. Like, in WWE around the same exact time, you would watch Raw or pay-per-view or whatever, and you'd get these backstage segments like this with, like, Vince or Stephanie or Triple H, where the couch and shit. It was just better looking. You know what I mean? Like, there's a plant, you know, or something, and it's lit better, and it's more colorful, just looks more, it looks more streamlined and had that high-tech feel that WCW just was lacking that. They were so basic. And like what we're doing here, like this camera following Hogan, looking for Bischoff, this is shit that you would not see on Nitro or WCW before Russo got there. Once Russo got there, you started, one of the first things I noticed on Nitro that you never saw before was how, you know, you would see this on Raw, prior to the next match, before you went into commercial, you would have a shot like this of them, of Kane or somebody walking to the ring. Here comes Kane. Up next, it's Kane versus Mark Henry or whatever, and then they would cut to commercial. They started doing that when Russo took over. They started adopting some of those production techniques. So, like, this whole thing with Hogan here is just not something you would have seen on Nitro prior to this. Oh, he got in. Oh, my God, Bischoff, you weren't hiding? Somebody's going to attack Hogan. That is a big-ass building. I cannot believe that Bischoff could not hide from Hogan. Hogan would have never found my ass. Ain't no way. I'm like, good luck, Terry. Shoot him. They've got guns. Guns. What? I wasn't aware we were going to see guns. Is Pillman here? Fucking the police showed up. 5-0. Packing, drawing their weapon at Hogan. As if bullets could kill the Immortal One. Who's this? Oh, Terry Taylor. I was like, is that Regal? It's Terry Taylor. Terry Funk. Hey, look, it's Terry, and Terry. Terry Funk, Terry Taylor, and Terry Bollea. Terry Taylor. That's a lot of Terrys. I think they did that on purpose. I'm like, why would you include Terry Taylor into that segment? Shivani called Taylor a stooge. Is Norman Smiley here? He's over there. Stay away from the teriyaki salmon. Oh my God. Screaming Norman. WCW was really, really, really horrible around this time. And I'm seeing it here firsthand. One of the bright spots of the stupid shit that they were doing was Screaming Norman. This is something I would expect to see in WWE that would actually get over. So he was good. When it comes to like comedy characters, I thought he was tremendous. And everything WCW did to try to replicate WWE's success was so bad. But I think this character of Norman is one that could have transitioned seamlessly between either company and done virtually the same thing. I mean, that is a massive waste of good beverages. Oh, through the window? Order up. Oh, you cannot. You're going to have to wash this. I would not let anybody do this to my shit at the restaurant. Nope, you cannot crawl in my dishwasher. The health code violations alone. Look at Funk selling. Okay, you cannot do... I was about to say, Terry Funk would probably try, but stainless steel is what you find in the back ends of restaurants, and you're not going to do a table bump through stainless steel. Put them in the ice machine. That's going to be another fucking appliance you got to replace. The good old cookie sheet. Oh, God, Funk. Yeah, those things are dangerous. The shin guards. Yeah, Norman's been there many years. He's beloved at the PC. Looks the exact same, too.
It's a slap top. There you go. Good turn. And now, is that wardrobe they're going towards now?
I didn't even realize it's Nick Patrick. My God, does he look awful.
This combination.
Where's he going?
Terry Funk sounded hollow when he hit him.
Norman is
This makes no sense, Norman. God, you better not break that. Oh, you're not going to. I was about to say, that's not some flimsy ass pipe, is it?
like a koala.
Terry Funk will straighten out his plumbing.
Oh. Oh.
Nowhere to go but down here. Oh, and there it was.
Candy. Oh, sorry.
Well, this is probably one of the more enjoyable matches. I mean, it's Terry Funk, so whatever. And it's Danny McBride as the referee. And Screaming Norman, who I always liked. So, as awful as WCW was, I can tolerate this one.
Hey, you gotta give Norman credit. He may scream like a sissy, but he's showing he's hardcore. That's ball one outside. There we go. Gotta knock Terry out.
Oh. Stiff. He's yelling Norman now. Jesus. I just love that Terry Funk, his whole retirement that was featured in Beyond the Mat, and then immediately after that he goes to WWE as Chainsaw Charlie, and then hangs around there for a year or so, and then goes to WCW. Like, he is just... And it was weird to see him back there because he had been there before. He's another one that made appearances for both companies multiple times each. God. Norman's the best. I always thought Norman Smiley kind of looked like Warren Moon. Oh. Oh. Norman. What would your mama say? Now, she'd be disappointed in you. And I would be too. Oh. Making lewd gestures on TV. Oh, yeah. Did they reference that or something? Because I've always thought he looked like Warren Moon, but they just bring up Warren Moon? Mark Madden. I do like that WCW just went to Home Depot and bought a ladder. You know, by this point, WWE, I think, was making theirs. Oh, Dustin's here. Can Dustin enter this? Because this is for the vacant hardcore, right? Dustin. Oh. Funk and Dustin, that's crazy. In 2000. Oh. Dustin would stay there until the end. He was there at the last Nitro. He wouldn't come back until the Rumble the following year. Oh, God. It's okay to scream, Norman. That's it. Terry Funk wins the hardcore title by throwing the ladder from the ring on top of Norman outside the ring. WCW, they had to make a hardcore title because WWE had one and ECW was doing hardcore shit, so they had to give themselves a reason to do hardcore shit. So they made their hardcore title, but it was just what I like about it is that it's such a good example of how wrestling was just always on that pendulum, because I've always mentioned how WWE missed the boat on the cruiserweights years ago. WCW signed them all up, and there was nobody left except Taka and Michinoku. And then so they tried to bring on the minis to try to adapt to that high-flying style that didn't last very long. So they were just late to the party. WCW then followed it up by being late to the party on all this stuff. They created their hardcore title. I'm certain WWE had created theirs before they did. WWE had theirs in 98. So I don't think WCW's came around till quite some time after that. Is this an edit on his music? Mike Awesome's? You cannot hear the announcers at all, so this is how it's sometimes an indicator that sounds terrible. All right, so it's Steiner and Awesome. This is going to be, what, a semifinal? Right, for U.S. semifinal? Mike, thanks for the 2. I remember the Funk LJN. That feels like that's a rare one. I did not see that one around a lot, but I think one does exist. I think he does have one. That's wild. I'm trying to picture it, but I rarely saw it. But I still have a bunch of my rubber figures. They're in storage. But last time I opened them up, I think it was when I moved. I'm starting to notice they are actually starting to break down a little bit. They're like a little bit sticky. And they weren't kept in a hot environment. So I think it's it's been 45 years. I mean, I guess with Steiner using that song, he's probably a face at this point, I would assume. I love how quick he gets up to the top like that. Jeez. Mike Awesome was awesome. He would kind of like step up him like it was like steps. Steps up into your truck or something.
We have seen the envelope pushed beyond all recognition tonight. Hey, the cops had guns. They didn't even get disqualified.
Yeah, we had guns. Guns drawn on Hogan. I was not expecting to see that at Spring Stampede. It's back elbow.
Target. What agility from Mike Awesome.
A two count.
You know, Mike Awesome just like matching well against Steiner.
Somebody's coming. Oh! Nash showing up. And Mike Awesome, I guess, just debuted last week. And so Nash out here to get some revenge. Oh, Steiner recliner. Is that going to be it? They're going to beat Mike Awesome right out of the gate. I did not know that he brought that theme back. That's awesome. Oh, my God. Get out of my face. They're bringing up Gold Dust.
Dustin Rhodes has been fired by Vince Russo.
Vince Russo just fired Dustin Rhodes. All right, Vampiro's back. Who's he facing? The winner. Oh, yeah, Sting. Oh, shit, Sting. Okay.
What kind of fight is this going to be? Vampiro and Sting have wanted each other all week long, and now they got each other maybe all night long. We have seen so much
Nash snapped all three of his quads. Man, he's having a rough one. Rough night for Kev. Was it 99? When would Sting have used like the Metallica version theme? When did that ever get busted out? The Brothers in Paint. The winner of this faces Scott Steiner, and that'll be the finals. Okay. I cannot believe how many matches they're cramming in. And honestly, to have 14 matches on the card and to still come up early, like they could have gone. I mean, unless this is edited down, it's very possible this is edited down. So I could be wrong on the exact runtime because this is YouTube's version of it. But for them to fall under that 2 hour, 45 minute-ish time period that all these pay-per-views were limited to. For a company that was such a clusterfuck, they did it. They pulled it off. Oh, yeah. After Fall Brawl 99. We watched Fall Brawl 99. Yeah, Ryan, I know. They're kind of getting their asses kicked, aren't they, the Pistons? Well, that's what you can't. You got to show up, man. You're at home. Like, Like, if they're going to get beat, it's going to be shit, dudes. You had all the... You had it. What's the score here? Oh, yeah. They're down 23. Yeah, they better get their act together right now or it is over. Well, if you can't bring it at home in Game 7, I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Now better get your shit together. There's still time. Boom, big splash. Sting still got it. That was an impressive splash that Vampiro kicked out of.
Now Sting's frustrated. Sting can't believe he didn't beat Vampiro right then and right there, Tony.
I'm not so sure, Mark. I agree with that. I think Sting realizes what his opponent's made of. And I think Sting realized it would take a lot more than just a couple of shots to keep Vampiro down. As a matter of fact, there could be a call made that Sting wants to dominate him, not just beat him, to completely overwhelm
Oh.
Stinger splash attempt to hit Hart into the middle. Oh, what a crushing kick to the back.
I think by this point in 2000, WWE probably had... Did they have the barricade that... Like the not just the bars, but the barricade that actually extended all the way around? I think they were using that by then. So they had by now built their entire ringside area to be the same for every show. WCW is just still using the standard ones. They're so behind. I always liked Vampiro.
The word that comes to mind is betrayal. He's up top. Rethought his strategy as Sting rolled towards the... It was a good move by Sting to get to the corner out of the center. Vampiro dropped down, sent him in, and knocks him out again. Vampiro then crushing his shoulder block to Sting.
Sometimes I don't realize how big Vampiro is. He's a big guy.
And the count.
He's not small.
Sting is out. You know, guys, fans, you know, watching at home. It takes so much more to put Sting down.
Actually, I want to look that up. Is there any history?
It's kind of funny. It's like we're overselling and yelling too much and just going crazy on every move. But these guys are beating each other to death. Everybody's killing each other tonight. This is WCW. It's insane. Oh, big back suplex.
Overselling. We're just trying to follow this stuff. 1, 2. Oh, we got to try to keep up with it.
I know.
It's like a train wreck every time you turn around.
Remember the night of betrayal Monday night in Denver? The nail in the coffin put Sting away. Vampiro remembers that. He's looking for
I was looking up if there was any history between Vampiro and CM Punk anywhere, but
But I wonder here if the nail in the coffin was
oh,
fights. There's a different look on Sting, a more determination because of the betrayal, and maybe the nail in the coffin is not enough.
Tell you what, maybe 2 nails in the coffin. How about 3? Vampiro will do what it takes, I bet.
That's what you got to do.
I'll be honest, I look at Sting and I wonder if anything can stop this loony, crazy son of
oh, God, Sting. That suplex was just like tailbone first. Like, you didn't have to take it like that. Ouch.
so strong here. The battle of the brothers in fate. And Vampiro has lost the most fate. But Sting is losing the match. Would you cut out with that?
Appreciate that 10, Mike. Someone asked me who I was most disappointed in during his run in wrestling. I said Warrior in WCW. He was so out of shape, you could tell he just didn't want to be there. Warrior sucked. That whole deal sucked. I thought they had him the night they teased the Renegade. I thought they had Warrior. I'm like, oh, shit, they signed Warrior too. Big surprise. Scorpion Death Drop. And we're going to put him in the sharpshooter. That's it. Sting advances. So it's going to be Sting and Scott Steiner. That'll be the finals for the vacant U.S. title.
And they
Crush. Oh, that's War Games 92. I've either done a review or we've watched that. But if we haven't watched it, we can definitely watch it. That is it.
Joined by Kimberly, Diamond out of space. Tonight you have an opportunity to become
Kimberly.
three-time WCW World Heavyweight Champ if you can beat.
I guess the Nitro Girls are no longer a thing.
There's only one thing that I want more than becoming
They might still be.
three-time heavyweight world champion, and that's to kick that rat bastard's ass, Jeff Jarrett, from one side of Chi-Town to the other. He wants to hit my wife with a guitar.
Oh, he did? He hit Kimberly with a guitar?
You're going to get your shot at Jeff Jarrett. If you get the big picture, let me connect the dots for you, Jarrett. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang.
What is this? What song is this? Obviously a network edit, but holy shit. Yeah, thank you, Shannon Sharp. Look at Helms. Look at Gregory. Everybody? What's this? Okay. Here's Lash Legend. What about you, Lash LaRue? And is that Prince Ikea? And Crowbar? Holy crap. I wasn't aware that Prince Ikea wore a busboy outfit as one of his gimmicks. It's Hoovy? Is Hooventude? Oh my God, Candido is here. What the fuck match are we watching? What the hell is this? Oh, it's the 6-way match for the Cruiserweight title. Okay. Holy crap. So it's Candido and Lash and Shannon and Crowbar. Is that Charmel is out there? Daphne's out there. Shout out to Daphne. David Flair's out there too. So you have to tag in this thing?
Almost got the 3 count. Any man can make the save from the outside area. Any man can come in, make the tag. The one man who gets the pin is going to 1, 2, and win this thing. Another save there by Lash LaRue.
No, there's Crowbar, Devin Storm. I saw him at a few WWE shows over the years. I probably saw him wrestle 3 or 4 times. One of them was that light heavyweight tournament they did in '97. Good to see Hoovy out there. David Flair, my God. The use of that kid in WCW was one of the more amusing things at the time. You just had to be there. Oh, nice driver. Nice Hoovy driver. There's Candido. Oh, wow. Here comes Daphne. Is Lil Nate going to let this fly? I guess he will. It's a 6-way. Can't DQ anybody. Oh, no. Shh. Oh, Daphne into the arms of Crowbar. God, watch. Ooh, watch your leg. Oh, he's the artist. I forgot he was the artist. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know where Evan Courageous is. I don't see him out there. Oh, David, what a sell on the David Flair chop. My God. Oh. Oh. That was more like an angle slam, more than a Samoan drop. Oh, there's Sunny. Oh, who's this? Oh, is this her debut? And Candido wins. Oh my God. So this is Sunny's debut in WCW, huh? It's crazy that she went there. Her and Skip and fucking Sunny are there. Oh, there's Charmel. Paisley. I forgot she was Paisley. Paisley. That's a WWE name. Cat fight. Paisley and Tammy. Paisley, I would recommend taking a long, thorough shower using multiple. Oh, and now she's grabbing. But you are way too close to parts of Tammy. You're going to want to do a full body sanitation just to ensure you haven't picked anything up. Because she nasty. I'm sorry. Mike, appreciate the two. Worst wrestlers kid, Flair or San Martino? San Martino. I mean, David sucked, but at least he did shit, and he didn't quit. Oh.
Don't be a wise ass with me, old man. I'll smack your liver spots right in two tonight. Now, as far as DDP goes, what doesn't he get? I am the chosen one. I've got Russo and Bischoff behind me. I've got the new blood on my side. And after tonight is all said and done, I will be the new WCW World Champ. So why don't you choke on that, you old Jarrett slap ass?
Jesus Christ, Jarrett. He just tries too hard at that. That's what annoyed me about him in those days. Because everything was about attitude in these days. Austin, Austin and Rock and the promos that guys like that in DX were cutting in WWE. That's what is the most in and over. And Jarrett was just not that good at it. Sometimes he was okay. He wasn't a bad talker by any means, but when he tried to do that, I always just thought it sucked. Slap nuts and slappy ass and all that shit. I'm like, Everything was just a poor imitation. And where in the bejesus is Goldberg? Is he still out from the arm thing? Or the hand thing? Well, another positive to the show is it's a double dose of Miss Elizabeth, who in WCW, she was top-notch. That's crazy that Tammy Sitch and Elizabeth are in the same company. That is kind of mind-blowing to think about, but they were just in consecutive segments. That's crazy. And here's Ric Flair out in his golfing outfit again. This is pay-per-view. This is what the fuck is going on? I'm like, why are you wearing this? Okay, that's right. It's Package and Flair against Buff and Dean Douglas. Okay, so Goldberg is on his way back, but it's not for a little bit. Interesting. I'm going to grab a beverage. Be right back. I'm pretty sure this is actually the correct theme music here for Shane Douglas. This is another one of those knockoff themes. Which one is this? This Douglas theme is a knockoff of what, like, 90s rock song? What am I thinking of? You know how Jericho's was Even Flow, right? And Ravens, I think it was Come As You Are or something. Oh, Russo is going to join us. Lucky us. We get poor Tony Schiavone has got Mark Madden on one side and Russo on the other. Ugh. All right, Pistons are still down 20. They are going to lose, it looks like. I'm hoping that Buff and Shane win because I don't like the idea of Ric Flair wrestling in that shit. Like, if you are crazy enough back in the year 2000 to buy a ticket to WCW and Ric Flair is on the card, as a fan, I would like to think that I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to see, this is a legend. I'm going to get to see Ric Flair. I want to see the whole shebang. I want to see him out there in his robe and the music and the thing. And he's coming out here like he's fresh off the golf course. Probably 13 sheets. Lexi.
With a pose of his own little buff strut, the total package of the win. Ran right over him. He's not done.
There's literally, less than a year left here.
Matches remain in the
WCW is into their final 11 and 3/4 months.
members, if you will, of the new blood, members of the Millionaire Club on opposite sides in all 3 matches, and now the franchise.
I want Douglas and Flair in there. Get the package out of there. Get Flair in.
Mike, thanks for the super. If 2000 Miss Elizabeth would have met 2000 good mic work, I think she was out of my league back in those days. Would Liz have left Lex for Greg? She might leave Lex for this Greg. I don't think she'd leave him for 2000 Greg. I was pretty young. She might be alive today. Yeah, she probably would. She'd have to be my sugar mama, though. She would have been making more money than me at the time. So as long as she's okay with that, I would be. Then all will be well.
260 pounds over his head. Okay, what is that? What is that? It is cheap shot. It's a man in street clothes. It is a street fight. It is personal. And Flair is sucking each other right now.
The Nature Boy and the dynamic dude himself, the franchise. 8 years of hatred boiling over here in WCW.
Yeah, these guys do have some beef, don't they? I think they still do. Shane and Flair. I don't know if things were maybe cool here or maybe they were rough before, but now they're working together, but then they got worse when this was all said and done.
Out of the corner, you heard from Nick Patrick, the referee.
Tony, it took Ric Flair 8 years to answer Shane Douglas's challenge, and you're making him seem like General Patton because he didn't have a place to hide anymore.
Bullshit. Hey! Sorry. Getting kind of emotional tonight.
Shane Douglas wearing out the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Look at the hunger in the eyes of Shane Douglas. It's all the new blood, Tony, and there's nothing that nobody can do about it.
Nothing anybody should want to do about it, Mr. Russo. Well, I know
Mark Madden kissing up.
their way the Millionaires Club
I cannot get over Nick Patrick. I don't know what is going on
pay medical bills. It looks that way.
or what decade he thinks this is or what porn movie he's about to star in.
And you know what I love? No risk.
But he is a hideous monstrosity.
He seems like a New Yorker almost.
That's right. It's not good enough for the franchise to beat Ric Flair. He's got to humiliate Ric Flair.
Embarrass him, Tony.
Absolutely drive him down, and that's what it's all about. That's what
Man, the United Center does not look that full, but they do say there is 12,000 here, which isn't a horrible house, but it's only about half capacity of what United Center could hold. But, I mean, for as crappy as the product was in those days, 12,000 is pretty good for them.
That's right. That's what Russo and Bischoff said at the beginning of the telecast.
As it should be.
Well, clutch into the win.
Having to back the package right back out, trying to maintain some order here. But with the new lenient rules on disqualification, maybe the package ought to risk it.
Came to a point tonight where the referee's only function is to declare a winner and a loser.
Team packages used to have the stuff handed to them. They're not used to having to fight for what they deserve, to fight for their spot.
You're trying to tell me that Flair and Package have never had to fight for what they got?
Not in a long time, no, that's exactly right.
Okay, well, there may be a point there. Please draw your own conclusions to that one. And you can see with purpose that the franchise bringing Flair up toe-to-toe they go.
Treat him like the dog that he is.
Side headlock into the rope, down goes Flair. And Shane goes down.
What's crazy is I thought at least maybe Flair would wear wrestling boots or some sort of shoes, but he's actually in dress shoes. That is just crazy.
There you heard Nick Patrick. He's up, back into the corner. Shane Douglas will shoot him into the
Flair's trying to do his thing. He fails miserably. God.
Flair doesn't know where he is right now, Tony.
Would you imagine buying this on pay-per-view? He said again. He said again. Flair did it this time. So they just redid the spot.
The package has had enough when Ric Flair looks more and more like a beaten man.
Watch his back, Buck.
Come on, cut the rim off, cut the rim off. Put the circuit over there.
He's not. He's too smart. He's too smart. He's been in this business too long.
What a struggle.
Man, just two completely different products. Like watching this, thinking about what WWE is doing at around the same time, they're fucking crushing it. They're fucking world champions hosting SNL. Or they're soon to be world champion. Backlash is probably the next Sunday when Rock wins the title. Think about the energy of that title win compared to this shit that we're watching. Russo's up. Oh, Buff hit Shane. Okay. Nope. Russo. Oh my God, Russo and Nick Patrick. Is there two more unlikable people in the world than these two? And they're John. I think Nick Patrick would beat the shit out of Vince Russo. Oh. Here comes Chronic to attack Luger, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be Chronic's debut. Oh, God, we're stripping Nick Patrick. Oh, that's hideous. Oh, look at... He didn't even have time to put the shirt on. Look, it's all inside out. McMahon would have never let this happen. He would have been losing his fucking mind. Put the goddamn shirt on, right, you know? Like, these are the differences between a company like that and WWE at the time. Those little details. Vince is like trying to get the shot. He's like, ah, fuck it. And then he gets in. Like, they weren't as precise. But that appears to be Chronic's debut. Brian Adams, Brian Clark, who both returned jacked. Crush and Adam Bomb were not that jacked. And those guys were ridiculous.
Mean Gene, I represent myself and keep that straight. You're looking at a physical phenomenon. You're looking at a genetic freak. I'll tell you what, you see that vein in that arm right there? That's larger than
You see that vein in that arm right there? No, I don't want to.
And you tell him his ass is mine.
Big Papa Pop is going to hit everything they move. If you're keeping score at home, New Blood 2.
Yes, this is the finals. U.S. title. Scott Steiner versus Sting. As Mike Witt reminded me in the super chat, things ain't looking good for Detroit. They are down 27 at the start of the fourth quarter. This game is over. I am turning it off. They're not coming back from that. That's okay. God, the shape he was in. My God. That is just so gross. That fucking bicep of his. Oh, it always freaked me out. I'm like, what kind of steroid is that you take that makes it do that? Is it for mooses or moose?
Your opponent was in here just a moment or two ago, and Big Papa pumped Scott Steiner right now.
You pump rhinos with that shit?
A couple of moments from now, you're going to be facing him for the United States title. Big opportunity. Bischoff
Sting was a great promo, too. He would have been great in WWE in the 90s.
And guys, what about the unexpected, the crazy, the wild appearance of what to me is two more members of the New Blood, Brian Adams and Brian Clark.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a long time, but there are two other guys who got short shrift because they didn't stroke the right palms, they didn't slap the right backs, they didn't suck up.
And this, I think, is the semi-main because after this, I believe, is the title match. Jeff Jarrett versus DDP for the vacant title.
What's next is a war. What's next is a fight between two guys who just don't.
I mean, think about how strong WWE was because WCW still at the time had names still. I mean, Goldberg was about to come back. You still had Sting. Hogan is there. Flair is there, obviously. You know, a lot of the Eddie and guys were gone. Eddie and Benoit and all those guys were gone. But you still had, what, Nash, Hogan, Sting, and Goldberg. Still had Steiner. You had some young blood there, as they've been showing you. But WWE was just too hot. You just couldn't compete.
Well, that's right. All the qualities you listed that Sting has certainly did pop up on Scott Steiner has. But the bottom line is this: right now, it's whoever has less fatigue, it's whoever has more endurance, it's whoever has more cardio. 3 matches in one night? Are you kidding me? With the U.S. title on the line? That's insane. But both these guys are just insane enough to do it and win 3 times in a row. Scott Steiner has gone through the wall.
I don't know who wins. I cropped off the winners, and I just put the match listing.
To the final, the United States Heavyweight Championship, the #1 contender for the world title will be decided right now.
But it's more than just the athletic attributes of the building. It's the
Madden, I think, just said this is also a #1 contender. #1 contenders match for the world title, which usually the U.S. champion was kind of by default sometimes, but
and that's a tall order. And one man carrying the banner of the New Blood on his back. And here we go. Immediately, as expected, Steiner's going to try to obliterate his way right through Sting. No finesse here at all.
Well, this won't last long. When you're trying to win your third match in one night against the caliber opposition that's in the U.S. title tournament, how can you go from there? I thought here, got to be a sprint, or those guys will drop off. How would you like to be Sting in a wrestling?
Shawn Michaels and Sting at WrestleMania, instead of wondering who would win, I almost wonder what would be the best year. I think that's a more fun question. If Shawn Michaels versus Sting, if we could have that match at any WrestleMania we wanted, which one would be the best? Like, when do you think those guys were both at their physical primes as closely matched up as possible?
Close to respecting Sting. I've never respected Sting. I am so close it almost kills me.
Regardless of whose side you take or who you're trying to suck up to, you got to respect them all.
Ooh, I'd almost say like 95.
On the line here tonight. And literally, we've seen live
I think 95
Billy Kidman as Hulk Hogan.
would probably be your best opportunity to get the best match out of those guys. Maybe 94. 94 or 95, I think, is the year. So I'd say WrestleMania 10. Well, no, you don't want to get rid of the ladder match. WrestleMania 11. Yeah, fuck that Diesel match. Instead of give Diesel a different opponent and do Shawn Michaels and Sting at WrestleMania 11. That pay-per-view would be a lot better. We just fantasy booked WrestleMania 11. Hey, there you go. Gilbert's got it. There you go. Smart. We're thinking alike.
Once for show, the drops for go. Here's a 1-2 and a 2 count now.
That looked like 3 to me, I'll be honest. That looked like 3.
Think about how much better that pay-per-view would be. Then who would Diesel defend against? Brett. Rematch of the Rumble. Oh, yeah, who would win the Rumble then? Brett faces Diesel at the Rumble, so somebody else would have to win the Rumble. This can't be Brett. They had nobody. Taker. Or Razor. Razor would be great, winning the Rumble and then challenging Diesel after he beat Diesel at SummerSlam. Brett will probably still have to face Backlund. But maybe the match can be better. There's life in... Oh, what a... Just a stiff board back bump by Steiner. Jesus. It's incredible. This is match number 13. That's wild. Oh. Who's that? Oh. Oh, they're doing... Oh, the WWE comes through the ring, so we're going to do it too. Oh. He pulled Sting under the ring. We've never seen anything like that. Only 17 times in WWE over the last 3 years. Holy cow. That's just so wild. Vampiro just came from the unknown. From the depths of hell. He's descended under the arena floor. He's halfway to China. Oh, they're back. Sting's bleeding. That's completely real blood and definitely not a blood pouch that was under there already. Kind of an early glimpse into Joker Sting here with the red on his face. It's new blood. Oh, and then fucking Silverman tells the hard cam to ring the bell, as they all do. And Scott Steiner is your new U.S. champion. Yeah, John, I said the same thing. Yeah, Fox Star, it's Vampiro and Sting as poor man's Undertaker and Kane. Everything WCW did was poor man's WWE. Everything. They had a poor man's hardcore division. All their backstage segments. I even pointed out that how bland it looked when Bischoff and Russo were sitting on the couch. And, you know, they try to replicate the same type of segments they do in WWE with the McMahons sitting on the couch and Stephanie and Vince and Triple H coming in and out or whoever. But theirs is just, it's better lit, it's better produced, it looks better, it's got a shine to it. That looked like some garage sale garbage. Look, you're a multi-million-dollar fucking company here. Like, if you're going to copy them, at least be as good looking or better looking than they are. Because that's the whole point. You know, sometimes you can copy a concept and say, hey, look, I do this better. Then hell yeah, copy and do it better. But they copy and do it shittier. I know. I love that Shivani, which I feel like I have to point out his outfit. But he seems as confused as I am.
presented by Jeff Jarrett. Remember, it was Jeff Jarrett that globbed Kimberly with that guitar.
Globbed her.
And I mean, Diamond Dallas Page loves his wife. He is going to get an ounce of flesh out of the ass of Jeff Jarrett.
Globber. I barely know her.
It all started Monday when Jeff Jarrett, who always has been known as the chosen one, came out and introduced the power that was. And
Do I even want to look at the score? I've turned off the game. I'm gonna check how bad are they getting their asses handed to them. Ooh, real bad. Oh yeah, they're down 35. Holy shit.
All titles will be stripped tonight. It'll be a brand new playing field.
New beginning. We have no champions.
four men are going to compete in a mini tournament to determine who will face
Oh well, that's life.
Jarrett at Spring Stampede for the now vacated.
Congrats to the Cavs. They're moving on.
This is our first tournament matchup.
Now I can stop watching. I don't give a shit who wins now. Could care less.
And the total package.
The winner of this match will face the winner of the Sting against former world champion Sid.
So I guess it's a good news day.
Making time with Elizabeth and Kimberly.
Ugh.
Page wins, but it was the Bagwell that turned the tide.
Sid Vicious, the former heavyweight champion,
Sid. I always forget Sid
to the ring.
coming back.
His destiny. Sting is making a case.
When does he do the thing? When does the leg thing happen?
What on earth? The wall just wiped out Sid with a chair.
That's got to be coming up soon.
Sting's gonna win this thing by count out, and for the second straight time, someone from the new blood has caused the tide to turn in this mini tournament.
Who will face Jeff Jarrett? The chosen one realizes
The fucking chosen one.
When I am crowned the new WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
what is he doing with Kimberly at ringside? Vampiro hit the nail in the coffin on Sting.
Diamond cutter on Sting, who's already down 1, 2, 3.
Jeff Jarrett will face Diamond Dallas Page at Spring Stampede.
Jarrett's in the ring. Oh my God!
Oh, he accidentally hit Kimberly. Okay, so it wasn't deliberate. But he was doing that. He was fighting China in WWE. Oh, what was that outfit Jarrett was wearing? That was awful looking.
Will he realize his dream on Sunday? Or can Page rise above the weak and back?
Oh, that was a pay-per-view when he did the leg thing? I was thinking it was like a Thunder or something.
Down to the biggest prize in all of WCW.
So he didn't do that until 2001? Wow.
The new blood is on a roll, on a rampage here at Spring Stampede.
This is definitely a network edit also. Because WCW love them knockoff songs. We talked about that earlier. Jarrett's was a knockoff of that Kid Rock song. But this seems like a dub of that. So it's like a dub of a knockoff. How fucked up is that? Like, that's why it sucks. I'm a cowboy. Ugh. They replayed the leg injury on Nitro. They did. Zach, you have that Slapnut shirt? Sweet. I assume you save it so you can wear it to weddings and stuff. As one would. Oh, man. It's like we got this bad edit, and then we have to deal with like a backstage entrance of Jarrett, then to the stage, then he goes to both sides of the stage. And look how simply it's put together. Look at how like low tech that looks. See what I mean? Like they were living up to what WCW always was, you know, before Hogan got there. They always, you know, like production-wise, they always just like look like a cheaper version of WWE. And then they had that couple of years of success there where everything was going nuts for them. But now they're right back to that old reputation of just being a a lesser attractive looking version of wrestling than the big bright stars of WWE. And they still had names. They had Hogan, for fuck's sake. God, both of these are both edits. How fucking awful is that? I can't believe that at least for the YouTube version, they can't. Like, why do they have to do this? Why can't it just be in its original form? Like, I wish there was a way to convince. Well, there's no way they would do it because TKO sucks. But if there was a way to just to be like, okay, look, assholes, give us your entire library. I don't know how you fucking do it. YouTube would be preferable. Everything, every fucking show and everything that you released in its original form. No network edits on any music. Pay whatever royalties you need to pay, or just allow those videos to be monetized and the royalties go to the rightful holders, or however the fuck it works, or just make it happen to where you can have everything available in its original form, and just to make up the cost, put it all on one channel for a $5 a month price, and you get everything. Every Raw, every SmackDown, every Primetime Wrestling, every Superstars Wrestling Challenge, every pay-per-view, all the WCW stuff, same thing, all the ECW stuff, same thing, and just make everything available with no edits. And then put a charge on it, $5, and make that, and then that should hopefully, like all of the subscriptions, would hopefully like just balance out the price of whatever it costs you to be able to use the music and all that bullshit. Maybe it could balance out, and you'd do the fans a solid. I'd be the first person to subscribe. Obviously, it would be in addition to everything else we already pay for, because why wouldn't it be? It's not like they're going to include that and throw us a bone. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Those days are over. Yeah, it's such a bad. That's the thing, Foxstar, and it's a That's the thing. It's a terrible ripoff. They're ripping off everything, and it's so bad. Because I don't mind if you find something out there that works, and then you adopt that too, and you do it better than, or you update it, or give it a fresher look, or give yourself some attention, and fans flock over to you. I got no problem with that. But they were just such a poor, because I was living this, I was 23 years old at the time of this show. Like, who would prefer this over WWE? Like, what kind of fan would be like, oh, WWE sucks, this is it, this is where it's at. Mancow versus fucking Jimmy Hart. Like, what fan is saying that? Nobody. Where a couple years earlier, that wasn't the case. You had more of a split between the fans. But there was really no tribalism around this point. By the time you got to this point in WCW, there was no tribalism because you couldn't deny that this was shit. There we go. Kimberly getting some revenge. Bitch slap to Jeff Jarrett. You can imagine how a 23-year-old kid felt about Kimberly at the time. Oh, they are brawling into the humanoids. They are deep in Chicago. I do like this camera shot, though, because you don't really see what's going on. You just see a little bit of it. It's like it's so bad that it's kind of good, because they don't have a camera station back there. They should, but I kind of like that they don't. Oh, my. Finally, they got a cameraman in position. There's a trash can. Big shockaroo there. Gotta have that. There's a lid out there. I already saw it. Gotta have the lid. These fans. One guy on his phone. Phones really aren't a thing yet. You got them by now. You got cell phones. I would get mine the next year. My first phone. Ugh. But you couldn't take pictures and record with them yet. Watch out. Protect Bill Apter. He's out there. TDP with the sunset flip. Oh. I didn't really love DDP with the short hair, but I kind of understood that it was probably time to cut it. But he felt different after that. Mike, thanks for the 5. Got to be honest, back in the 80s, I liked NWA better. Dusty, Horseman, Warrior, Sting, Nikita, they were loaded. Yeah, I said the same thing, and I lived in the Carolinas at the time. And so those names were around the schoolyard just as much as WWE ones, if not more. And it was real big on the lunch boxes. I remember the Sting lunch boxes being everywhere. Seeing that on kids. Oh, they're saying WWF. Listen to Shivani. He came over from the WWF after he got beat by China. Oh, hello, Tito. Want to come up? All right, there you go. We're watching Spring Stampede, in case you're wondering. Favorite gimmick from wrestler in wrestling. Favorite gimmick of all time. Gimmick, probably Undertaker. But there are plenty of others. Yep, Tito's in the house. He's sitting here purring hard. Big sit-down powerbomb. Oh, there's Bischoff. Bischoff's here.
Bischoff in the aisle. Bischoff in the aisle. Maybe he's not liking what he's seeing from Jeff Jarrett.
Russo was out moments ago. He had an impact on the switch team. Hogan knew really crowded knew were tag team champions. And now he's come out.
Did you see both men go over the top with their pants closed? And now they're going to fight down the aisle? I guess toward Bischoff.
I'm hearing every spot they're calling. Heard so many spots all night. Oh, that's just like one of them plastic veggie trays from your local supermarket. Shout out to whatever your supermarket is. Mine is Ralph's or Vons. Back in North Carolina, it would have been Harris Teeter or Lowe's. In Michigan, it was Kroger. But it's like one of those. It's like the broccoli tray. He hit DDP with it. With the broccoli tray. Tearing up his book? It's not exactly War and Peace. Oh, those ring posts are just so gnarly, too. The way they're like square like that. There you go, Kimberly. Uh-oh. You scurvy wench. Oh. Kimberly doesn't have scurvy. You can tell. Scurvy wench. Thriftway. Shout out to Thriftway.
The winner gets the world title, and really when you have the world title, you control the promotion.
I don't think there's any question about that, regardless of which side you take. New blood in the Millionaires Club, you've got to appreciate, you've got to respect what's going down here tonight. I mean, how else these guys are doing all the stuff.
I feel very bad for the 115,000 people who purchased this pay-per-view for $40 in the year 2000. Bischoff just still standing there. He's got to stand there. Must stand here and watch. Oh. Jarrett held onto the ropes on the diamond cutter. I don't know what happened to Charles Robinson. How's Jarrett going to use the belt? Yes, he is. Is that how he's going to win? No, I feel like he's taking too long. Yep, DDP kicks out. Bischoff is moving.
It's not trouble. Mr. Bischoff will think of something.
He's got the figure four on DDP in the center of the ring. What can Page do?
God, he's not going to quit. You know that.
Now Bischoff.
Wait. Kimberly has the guitar. 1 second. Kimberly has
Oh, is she going to turn on DDP? Is that what happens? Nope.
Amazing effort that we're seeing here for the world title at Spring Stampede, for the vacated world title.
Oh, come on, Jeff, come on.
How much longer can a man take the pressure of a figure four leg lock? DDP is taking longer than most. He rises up again.
His back's hurt too bad to roll it. That's the problem.
He's been in this an awful long time. Like, that move, like, legitimately hurts. If you put it on, it, like, it hurts your leg. You can't, like, just sit in that shit. Finally. You couldn't have just done that a minute ago, DDP? All he did was fought. He got right over there. He just fought a little. Another one. Nope. Oh, look out. Jawbreaker.
It was a great move. It was one in a desperation, but it was a good one by Jarrett. Bischoff on one side, Kimberly on the other. Watch it in. What is going to unfold here? Jarrett put up, trying to
Up. Yeah, it's like that's a rock bottom. Twisting Uranagi. Yeah, Kimberly has that guitar. Why do I think she hits Paige?
Over the shoulder of Eric Bischoff, king of the new blood, watching the last piece of the puzzle not fall into place. Don't call Kimberly a piece, please.
Not yet into place. Sleeper hold.
Yes, yes. This may do it. Paige has been weakened by Jeff Jarrett throughout this contest. A perfect counter by Jeff Jarrett to put Paige out in the center of the ring.
And Paige is going nowhere, guys. But down. Look at this. Slowly trying to fight off Jeff Jarrett. Trying to fight it off. Jeff Jarrett may be seconds away from winning this thing. Charles Robinson's kicking it. Paige has his eyes wide open. With the rolling back in his head. He's trying to come back.
Come on, Paige. Yeah, there you go. He's been through a figure four, now a sleeper hold. Oh, now we got Bischoff on the top rope. The fix is in, y'all. Oh. Oh. Oh, there we go.
He might be helping Paige.
Why would Bischoff help Paige? There's no way.
I don't know. But can you trust Bischoff? He got him.
It's over. Paige is going to be the three-time champion. Now Kimberly's going to come into best.
Oh, hold on, buddy. What are you doing, bro? You trying to come up in here? I'm trying to watch Spring Stampede 2000. You have to sit right here. Okay, this must be. There we go. You can tell. She hit her husband. Oh, God. And it's the skull-crushing finale. Or the half skull-crushing finale. Oh, new champion. She's new blood. Oh, turned on her own husband. What a Jezebel. You could tell, too, she was going to turn. She's a gold-digging tramp. Yeah, it was just the one match for the other team, or the one belt, right? Otherwise, it was all these guys. All right, Jeff Jarrett, WCW World Champion. My God, that was kind of fun and awful all at the same time. But when it got recommended, there's so many shows from 2000 and 99 from WCW that we have not done. So when I took a look at the card and I saw that there was 14 matches on, I'm like, oh, hell yes. But, man, that was cluster. Mancow and Jimmy Hart, like, what the hell was that about? All the matches were short. There was a lot of overbooking. But all in all, it was still fun. I mean, this is a really good example of how WCW was in those days. And when you compare it to WWE, there was really no comparison. So that was fun. I'm glad we watched that one. So start throwing out your recommendations for the next time we're here. Next Sunday is going to be Double or Nothing, so we'll be here for that. So I guess we'll be back 2 weeks from now to do a watch along, unless that happens to be Clash in Italy. I don't think it is. So probably 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be back for another classic. So start sending out your recommendations for that. And like I said, 1 week from tonight, Double or Nothing. Plan is to skip a Raw review tomorrow because I have a lot going on. I'm probably not going to be here, so there won't be one. But I'm going to have a live stream ready for you on probably Thursday where we will review or recap anyway, Raw, Dynamite, and I'm going to predict Saturday night's main event and Double or Nothing. So that'll be on Thursday. So just to keep a lookout for that. And thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Appreciate it as the Pistons went down. You guys have a good rest of your night, and I will catch you in just a couple of days. Appreciate it. Peace.